Well, hey folks, this is 7 here. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to FS19. We are, of course, here on Ricciville. Indeed. And, well, we are still on the same first day of spring. I was thinking about it, and I figured, well, we may as well get this plowed in, because if we can start planting tomorrow, I'd rather have this go in on a separate day. That way it'll actually count as a fertilizer. Because I do believe our seeder and our fertilizer both, or our seeder and our planters, sorry, both will put fertilizer down. So, yeah, rather than lose out this on this one, we'll make them both count. Plus the fact that since we're not going to do the other farm, we will get to do this one every day. So if we take an extra little bit here and there to deal with it, so be it. Let me get this a little... There we go. We're starting to get a little carried away with going in that direction. I'm also trying to do stuff where I don't have to do a whole bunch of mousework here. I'm afraid even that shorter episode there, well, I guess it wasn't. It came out to just about a full episode. But yeah, I definitely felt it in the old tendons, unfortunately. That's okay. I think I can keep it at a point where a little bit of use and a little bit of healing, a little bit of use, a little bit of healing. You know how it goes. It is a rather remarkable hair. Yesterday I said it was beautiful sunshine. Well, it in fact was. And then a couple hours later, a deep shock to me, believe me, not to mention probably every other person that lives in this town, it started snowing again. And it snowed all afternoon and all night. And, well, in all honesty, it's still snowing now. Yeah, it's horrible. So there must be, I don't know, half an inch out there. It's just terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I barely healed up from the last time. But yeah, it's, I think we're going to end up setting some records here this year. So, for better or worse. Now that field across from us has been limed. Alright. Yeah. So that's okay. I decided not to manure that one. And I suppose just as well since it has been limed, eh? Alright, let's get ourselves 90 degreed. Close enough. Well, okay, it's exact, but there you go. Ooh. Now, are we? Yeah, we are. Okay. Just making sure. I wouldn't want to leave a chunk down the middle or anything like that. Nice little workhorse, this tractor, right? Now, I'm not sure if this particular unit is done just for the game or if there is an actual Dude's Farm Warrior that's set up this way. But I like it. I've been using very similar ones all the way back into, I think, 15. There was one brought out for... oh, it's a bird. I thought I've never seen a helicopter in the game before. I'm starting to think I need to have my glasses checked. But, yeah, there was one that was put together, and I think it was designed for forestry. It was just after forestry sort of things. They were starting to catch on a little bit. And, yeah, it looked a lot like this one. But in it also, you could put a cage on it, etc., etc. Pretty neat, pretty neat. But this one I like as well, for sure. Okay, yeah. See, everything's still in the blue because it's not very nice. And, oh, good. It's supposed to rain in the morning. Perfect, eh? Perfect. Ooh. Okay, not bad. A little bit of straw for that one pasture there, maybe. And other than that, we should be good. I think we're starting to lose track here a little bit. We were getting up to 90.6, and that looks like that front roller's barely making it anymore. So I don't like going over the same stuff, but I don't want to miss anything either. So yeah, sorry if it's kind of the same grunty kind of field work, but like I said, I'm not... things like running loads out to the factories and such are going to have to wait until I can do a little bit better with my arm. Because I also want to get some, hopefully, some Conan or something else done. Just to break up the monotony. I'm gonna... Darn kitties. They keep leaving the flap open between the living room and the kitchen. Because of the age of this place, oops, I did not mean to do that. I just wanted to lift it. The kitchen windows are single pane. They're also huge. Now, I don't mind having big windows. I get to look out at Valentine Mountain and all of that. But because they're single pane, this time of year, it's not too ideal. For one, you get the whole issue with such a temperature difference with only a single layer between it, of course, means that you're going to get condensation. And I literally wipe water off the insides of my windows every day. The other issue with it is, of course, it doesn't heat worth a darn. So I do have insulated curtains over it, but I'm being used to even the mild Canadian winters here and trying to keep the bills to a certain degree. I don't tend to run heat in rooms that I'm not using. And in all honesty, the only time I really use the kitchen is if I'm, oddly enough, running something that produces heat. Right? I mean, if I'm making a coffee or whatever, I'm in there for a minute and a half, and then I'm back in there 15 minutes later to pour it in my cup. And if I'm cooking, then I've got a heat source on. So there's not an actual door between the living room and the hallway that leads into the kitchen. So the hallway and the kitchen are, whatever, a few degrees warmer than outside, but not many. Now, so I have a canvas bit that hangs across the doorway, and unfortunately it seems that every time I close it, the cats will come in and then they'll go halfway through it and sit there for a moment, make sure that it sort of stays where it is, and then they'll come all the way through. So there's a big gap letting all my heat out of the living room. So yeah, I think that's probably, other than the treadmill, my biggest source of walking is going back and forth to that thing to keep it closed. But what to do? There's and it's not purely cheapness that makes me not turn the other rooms on. See, there's the way our hydro system here, that's our electrical company, whatever, it's called BC Hydro, because most of our electricity is, in fact, supplied by hydro dams. But at any rate, they have this two-tier system. And if you stay in the lower tier, i.e. only consume up to a certain amount of energy, it's pretty darn reasonable. Should you stray above that tier, then everything from that point on till the end of that billing period is in Tier 2. Tier 2 is about 3 times the price of Tier 1. So all of a sudden your bills can go from single to triple over a period of a month just because you slipped up into that second bracket. So yeah, I have things sort of carefully timed around the apartment so that, you know, I turn my heat off in the living room 3 hours before I go to bed and turn the heat on in the bedroom and warm that up, you know, and then when I go to bed, I shut that heat off as well. So it's quite a system, but it's all right. It's all right. Luckily, we don't get all that cold. Although I imagine if this was the what the heck? Oh, I see. It's got a third camera position that just kind of looks behind stuff. Okay. I imagine if I lived in a place where it did actually get extremely cold, I'd probably have double pane windows, and a lot of these issues would be, you know, taken care of, as it were. But there you go, just a little look at life on the West Coast. But yeah, it's a thing of concern. I heard when I first woke up this morning about 5:30, I woke up to this odd sort of sound, a scrapey noise. And it did, by the time I was, you know, a few minutes into it, I thought, oh yeah, okay, I know what that is. I don't even want to open my curtain and look outside. Because, yeah, sure enough, it was the snowplow going down the main road. But that's not a big deal. The problem is I live kind of on top of a hill, and the road up the hill to where I live, it never ends up getting done. I imagine if it were to snow for 2 weeks, they'd eventually get around to it. But yeah, the town's lone snowplow, I'm pretty sure it is a lone snowplow, yeah. By the time it gets stuff done, it's kind of, you know, back starting on the main road. By the time it gets around to 90% of the side roads, it's got to go back to the main roads and catch up again. And yeah, by the time it gets to the little tertiary roads, like the one that leads up to my place, winter's pretty much done. So we'll see how it goes. I know you're going around half an inch of snow and he's complaining. I'm not actually complaining, because one thing I do in the winter is stock up a little bit. Like literally, if I couldn't leave my house tomorrow, the only thing I'd run out of is bread. I have everything else I need in the house that would last me for a month. Because I have believed for many years that if you actually want to be prepared, you've got to be 30 days ahead of the freaking game, you know? So I do that. I keep a 30-day supply of pretty much anything I could need. I don't keep 30 days worth of water because, well, you know, I hate to say it, but man, if you can't find fresh water out here on the West Coast, you're only a tiny bit of an idiot. So yeah, there's, I don't know how many lakes within walking distance. There's a river within walking distance. There is numerous creeks and streams, and yeah. You know, not to mention it rains for 8 months of the year, 7 months of the year. So fresh water is never a thing in short supply. I do keep some. I keep about, I don't know, 10 gallons stored. But I don't keep 30 days worth. So, shy of nuclear disaster, I should be fine. Even a zombie apocalypse, I'm set. Alrighty, here we go. Last kick at the can. Come on. There you go. Nice. And that should give us 1 fertilization on the field. That's not bad. Because the fields that needed liming, we've already done. No, I believe this will keep going. Yes, good. Let's have a look at our further outstay. I don't want harvested turned on. It tells me nothing. Just nothing. What am I looking looking for here? I'm not. Ah, here we are. Whoa. Ay, 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 ay. Yuck. Wow. Okay. Did you see all that needed plowed stuff? Holy monkeys. Well, I think I'm going to turn plowing off after this, after I get this field done. I mean, obviously, if I do something like this, put manure down, I'll plow it in. But yeah, I don't think I particularly want to, plow every single... In fact, I didn't think it was actually on. Where are we here? It is. Periodic plowing off. Okay. I guess it just leaves that on, though, eh? Oh, do I have lime? Yep, that's turned on. So, we don't own 58. So, yeah, we should be... I don't know what's with this. Apparently, there's a little piece needs limed, and we got a little bit of fertilizer. Ah, boy. Sloppy field work. That's what you get when you do sloppy field work, man. Unreal. How are we doing here? Down a quarter tank, and no, we're good on repairs so far. Beautiful. Yeah, this is much easier when I don't have to do a whole bunch with the moose. Indeed. I don't want it too static, so, you know. Do try once in a while, change a little bit up. Guess what? Ta-da! Okay, anybody coming? Anybody coming? Nope. Beautiful. Alright. And all folded up. Perfect. Let's get you unfolded. Yes. There is one thing I might run out of, actually. Thanks to our good old Canada Post. You know, we might have amazing medical services. We might have all kinds of things like that. But I gotta tell you, as antiquated as postal services are these days, you know, they do still have their uses, which is to say, delivering parcels. Anything that's too small to be couriered, at any rate. Because let me tell you, couriers do a much better job. But, I figured out that I was wasting an awful lot of money buying oat milk. Now, since I can't do dairy anymore, I found oat milk to be the one I can tolerate the most. As I said, I started making my own, and it's pennies on the dollar to what I was spending before. But the problem is, I've gone through all of the cheesecloth that I happen to have on me. It's not something you commonly have drawers full of. So I ordered a set of those nut milk bags, because they're kind of a permanent edition of that. And they work much better. You know, you don't have to fold them up and do this and do that and hope you don't squish some out an open corner, or, you know, they're basically a cheesecloth bag. Well, even a better grade than that. Long story short, though, because of this tiny little bit of snow, they delayed the the delivery of the package. It was shipped on time. It's sitting here in town. Our posties won't go out. Yeah, seriously. A half an inch of snow. And this started yesterday. Right? Yeah, they stopped deliveries yesterday because it started to snow. You know, buses are running so they can get to their delivery routes. They just won't walk them in the snow. Now, granted, unlike our eastern neighbors, you won't find sidewalks getting cleaned here very often. You know, people might clean from their door to their car, but they're not going to do 20 feet up the road in both directions. Now, when we lived in Ottawa, you shoveled all of the sidewalk the length of your property. Here you don't see it. So granted, the sidewalks go unshoveled. But yeah, due to our little tiny half-inch of snow, if it's even that, I mean, that might be just my absolute wonderment at seeing it. Yeah, our postal service is not running. I know, you know, and I think about the fact that in places like Ottawa, where we would get 3 or 4 feet of snow commonly in a day, our mail never got canceled because of that. Like, unless there was an actual whiteout, which occasionally happens. And I can understand because, you know, we were actually trained in school what to do if there's a whiteout, because it occasionally happened. You know, you'd be walking home from school and all of a sudden the wind would come up and, you know, it hadn't snowed for a day or so, so the snow would be bone dry, and the next thing you can't see. You literally cannot see more than a few feet in front of your face, right? And I'm pretty sure that the postman just did the same thing the school kids did. You just hunkered down and waited till you could pick out objects that were far enough to be, you know, landmarks type of thing. Oh, I recognize that. That's a house. Okay, and walk towards it. Right. But, like I say, here, nope. Half-inch of snow, and yeah, everybody crawls in a little hole, and kind of like a hermit crab. Or no, trapdoor spider, even better. Much more like that. But yeah, it's hilarious. So, yes. My lifeline to the outside world, Amazon, is currently, I can do all I want, but I won't get it in me hands. Well. Anyways, I know it's a little bit of a shorter episode, guys, but to be honest with you, I'm going to simply finish what's going on here. That's about the best I can offer at this point. Hopefully there will be a little bit of a Conan episode as well, to keep you guys amused. But as far as the farm goes, well, I mean, I suppose I could keep going a few rounds here, but it's basically, I'm going to be doing this. And again, thanks for all the well-wishers out there who are being understanding of the fact that I've managed to gibble myself here. So rain tomorrow. Oh, does it show what it expects for temperatures, though? Oh, it does. Ew. Today 11C, tomorrow, ugh. It looks like it's going to be, well, and then Saturday rain, Sunday. Oy vey. But they will let us plant in the rain, though, won't they? I think they do. I hope they bloody do, I'll tell you. Because it looks like it's going to rain starting tomorrow and for likely the rest of our spring days. Can't say some fondue of that. Oh well. Oh well. Like I say, if that's the case, then we may have to rely on our factories and rely on the fact that, like I said, in the fall we should hopefully have enough money to basically steal a bunch of crops. Well, think about it, it kind of is, because you get all your money back when you resell the property. And I don't really agree with that. I think we should get, a little bit of a penalty. Either that or they should have it as a part of the active economy. You know what I mean? maybe in a year where you sell lots of crops, do lots of, that sort of thing, would show as a good year, and property would be worth more money. And of course the opposite in the opposite direction, right? So yeah, just a thought. I mean, if Giants is going to keep 19 active for at least another year, they need something to work with. So there you are. Because, yeah, they watch my videos. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm sure there's nobody... I don't know if there's even anybody from Germany that watches my videos. Leave alone from Giants, for goodness sakes. Ah, well. I'm sure I bored you guys all to tears with my plowathon here. So, I am, however, going to finish this field. And I'll catch you guys next time. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Don't slip on the ice. Oh, wait a minute. That's where I live. And till next time, take care of each other, folks. And ciao for now.